Am I live? Hello. Please tell me I'm live. I don't want to go through the same shit. Yeah, I'm live. Please tell me I'm live. Yeah, okay, I'm live. Let's see, we're gonna go through some replays again today. Maybe not as many as last time, or maybe more depending on how fast it goes. Basically, I don't plan on streaming as long as last time. Maybe like 2 hours. Yeah. All right. So the first game that I wanna go through is Poutine versus Friendly Neighborhood, dude. Which one is it? That one? No, it's not this one. It's the other one. Oh my, oh my. That was. I'm gonna go through this in like pretty like times 5 or 6 speed. Yeah. This is quite a special game. This is quite a special game. Yeah, I do know what's happened through this. Obviously, as you probably were able to tell, but so good question. Left is Putin as Dutch German coalition. Right is Friendly Neighborhood Dude as Baltic Front. It's really nothing all too crazy happening at the start. But as you can see, Friendly Neighborhood Dude having quite a foothold on top while also effectively winning Foxtrot. Let me quickly. Yeah, Putin trying to get back in here. Even buying a lance. Kind of getting into this forest, but not really fully. Lever 2 4 now getting on to 1 HP. Lance trying to snipe the 2.3. He's trying to get back into here, but that single AMX-13 shuts him down, which is unfortunate. But he only lost 3 Akari squads, so the loss wasn't huge. His run got shut down, I believe, but I'm gonna spoil that. That didn't really matter, anyways. But Friendly Neighborhood Dude being in a very good position, still having a very strong foothold here, ticking with +1, having the massive lead already. And KD wise, probably also looking pretty good. And Putin certainly in trouble. The stream literally just started. Before we actually watch proper replays, I want to quickly show this one replay of Friendly Neighborhood Dude versus Putin 187. Yeah, as you can see, it's not really looking good for Putin. Lost his tank there. Even if he were to come back to Bravo, Friendly Neighborhood Dude has a massive lead. And you can see here's a tiger flying around. Eriko is even getting one shot on it, but Friendly Neighborhood Dude not realizing it. Tiger missing a lot of its payload on the CV here, killing the spawn CV, and yeah, it's Das ist nicht gut. That is not nice. I said in a very bad German. Yeah. He's trying to snipe the 890, not fully managing to do that. Tiger now landing and resupplying. And yeah. I don't know why. He could have supplied his Item 90 here and then tried to kill the tiger, but he obviously didn't do that. Very unfortunate. I can understand that he maybe was simply frustrated or something else or whatever, but yeah. It's not a very nice way to lose, but it has to be said, you know, even if you could say it's a bit in a way cheesy by Putin, that was definitely preventable. The Erikois even got one shot on it, so he spotted it, and he just didn't have any base defense, so can't really say that, you know, there was nothing I could do, dude. Yeah, okay. Other matches that I wanted to take a look at are the first two games of Meenon versus Nanda. The third game I actually already casted with someone else. The video will be up tomorrow. So let's watch the first two. All right, Paddy Field. Oh, I think this one specifically, and I assume the other two matches as well in the future, you can see on Greyhound's YouTube channel from his perspective, including his commentary, if you're interested in that. He actually, which I found interesting, considered this. I only watched the first minute or so, then I realized I want to cast this. I should probably not watch this just yet. He did consider this side the worst side, which I definitely disagree with, but it may also just simply be because he's playing a mech deck. And with this mech deck, his general strategy is to push Bravo. So maybe with this specific strategy and deck, he considers that the bad side. Outside of that, I would always consider this the better side. Outside of like the specific mech push type of stuff. Alright, Nanda playing Soviets. Lots of MI8 MTVs. What did he start here with me? T70, 3 T72Bs, bunch of VDVs, Mortar, ATGM, 2 OSA AKs. Doesn't really need a lot of anti-elo A against Landjut mechanized. It's Landjut, right? That's Landjut mechanized, yes. He does get the Fennec, but yeah. Fennec easily dealing with the MI8 MTVs. So he's actually going for this push, which I find interesting. I think he probably only did it because, well, I guess the main reason why it works now is because he obviously managed to land the fire shipping and Nandi here, already getting him the foothold here, allowing him to much safer get units up there. Nanda instantly reacted to that and keeping 2 of his T-72s here and all of his VDV squads actually, except for that one that he had in the MI8. VMF squad, I think I mentioned it, but Nanda was actually one who, I guess you could say, inspired me to use these two-man squads more, and I've been very happy with that actually. The VMFs also having a suppressed sniper, meaning they make no or barely any noise with their snipers, so unless you pay attention to your infantry dying and to where the shots are coming from, it's a very, like, you know, even though they're firing, it's very hard to spot them. East run coming for the T-72B. There is smoke though. One T-72 already died to the 2A1s, I presume, or the Meenon 2, or both. Possibly Meenon 2, considering it bedded up. MI8 was doing them good damage, but automatic obviously shut it down. T-72B though, killing the automatic, that's very nice. He should definitely retreat his T-72 though. Although one of his 2A1s is panicked, it's obviously very, very good for him since he has an autoloader. And Meenon does not on his Leopard 2s. Nothing really going on in here. T-80 is being bought, Fennec for the flank here. Could see him potentially move this up here. Trying to go for a CV snipe. He's trying, no effect. Good smoke micro by Nanda. This is also kind of nice. As long as you have this town, you basically can use this as cover. Unless there's something in here or there's a helicopter, Nanda will have no line of sight here. So it is relatively easy to just instantly, or not instantly, but quickly lose line of sight. Again though, but if there is a scout here or a helicopter, could easily, you know, spot stuff. What Nanda could do, I now realize, is he could try to get a 2-man sniper squad down here into this town, or maybe across the bridge. Because as long as Meenon is holding on to this town, he's probably not really interested in putting anything here or dropping anything up there. So that could very easily just give Nanda a bunch of line of sight. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, the BRDM3 obviously not spotting anything. He's probably gonna, use the BRDM3 mainly for fire support when he gets into the town. That's also interesting. Instead of just constantly trying to go for this town, Nanda instead is, as I assume, thinking, well, why not try to get this and just cut off his reinforcement route, and then in the long run he'll just get alpha more or less for free, since Meenon won't be able to reinforce this properly if Nanda just can hold on to this. Then obviously Meenon can't use this road here anymore. Try to do a little probing here, Nanda, with no effect. M41 A1 spam, they are very, very good. The main issue with them is you get like 12 or 14 of them per card in land jute. If you take 2 of them, obviously you still get a bunch, but it's fast to run out of them. But then again, land jute, especially in mech, they don't really get a lot of great recon units, so it's probably relatively easy to fit them in. They're obviously very, very great, you know. They're like the M41 A1s in a tank type. It's just that you get medium stealth and good optics for no extra cost, so that's obviously great. But you obviously pay for it with having lower availability. Still a very great unit. 2A1, I don't think it's gonna die here. Oh, T80 missed, but was able to get out of line of sight quickly enough. I think the Leopard 2 getting worried by that shot meant that it couldn't reload the second shot quite fast enough to get it out, and that allowed the T80 to survive, I'm pretty sure. So that was, you know, that's even like that's these small things where autoloaders versus manual loaders already come into effect. Oh, kind of got lucky that the BTRD, or maybe it was intentional, possible, likely intentional, that he sent the BTRD down there to bait the shot for the 2A1 and allow the T80 to get up there while the 2A1 was reloading and couldn't fire at it. Nothing really going on in here. Meenon did have like a 3-stack of, I think, Dragoner or Lift Guard in here that apparently he tried to send down, but obviously everything died. Celeste T72B here might want to put us in here. And if he also sets like a sniper squad or like a BMF squad in there or here, you can also just spot 80 gems that might fire. Meenon lost his Nanda lost his foothold here, but at the same time he doesn't need it considering he has this part. So I think at this point Nanda could just play it safe. But it's Nanda we're talking about. Nanda is never gonna stop pushing. Nanda is just gonna keep pushing whenever he can with whatever he has. I'm pretty sure. It's just his playstyle. Fennec 20mm either died or probably died to the BRDM3 here, if I had to guess. Preemptive smoke. Buratino is gonna be a bane for Meenon. Oh, this could. All the 2A1s shot at, what was this? I mean, it's not really a useless kill, but none of them shot at a T80, and that basically caused him to lose a 2A1. And now the Buratino. Yep. Those were a few rockets too many, I'd say. Either Nanda forgot about it or was, I don't know. 5 of them would have done the same trick, but block 5 coming in, and that's where block 5 is amazing for. Oh, God gets out with 1 HP. That was lucky. That was very, very lucky for Nanda. 55 kilometer kmh is not the best off-road speed, and in the forest it's gonna take you a while to get out of the range of cluster. But Block 5 is just a very nice plane to have. All in all though, it's looking pretty good for Nanda, I think. He has the Buratino and he has the foothold that he needs. So he doesn't really need to spend massive points on something like Buratino that takes a while to, get its worth. So now Nanda could just again play it safe, but he's not going to because he's Nanda. Peace run coming in, but there's smoke to protect the T80UM. That VMF spotting the automatic Conquers them could have potentially killed that if it hit. He's trying killing a T-72B, but getting killed by a PU out of all things. That's quite an expensive plane. Makes sense though. Nanda doesn't have a whole lot of AA. He has one AK. The other one on the left died and hasn't really bought anything else. And considering that Meenon doesn't have access to a Tiger, and outside of the Fennec 20mm we haven't seen any other helicopters, I think it's a good point to just buy a PU, since he doesn't really need AA versus helicopters very much. And the PU is gonna be a lot more consistent. And on a map like this that is very small, like with very close spawns, it's very easy to just bring out the PU even as a reaction. You're not gonna be too slow. Let me just slow this down. Very often used tactic. You send out your ground attack planes, especially if you have an ASF that is worse than your opponent's ASF, or just weaker. What you can often do, or often see people doing, is they send out their ground attack planes or other planes, and behind their main ASF try to bait the missiles by the enemy ASF, and Nanda not falling for that. It did work out for Nanda very easily. He got out without any damage. Nanda baited the KWS over the AK and probably just, rather took the damage or potential damage by the peace run in Block 5 and wanted to kill the KWS. Could have backfired, because Nanda, when he turned here, I think the KWS was already in range, so Nanda's missiles came out later, but as you saw, the KWS didn't hit with a single missile, which was very, very unfortunate. Like, I would have expected the KWS to hit with at least one of its missiles, be it long or short range. And the VMF with 48, nearly out of sniper ammo. That's Jesus Christ. You also killed the second plane? I didn't see that. Maybe it was also the OSA AK, or probably the OSA AK helping with it. It's on elite by now. Buratino firing again with its nearly full salvo there. Again, not sure if Nanda did that intentionally or just forgot about it mid-salvo because he had to micro his T80UM or something. Oh god, those 2A1s, those poor 2A1s. It's not where you want to be. You never want to be on the back foot against Soviets. I've said that before. Even more so against Putin, but against Soviets in general. Because the Buratino is just gonna fuck you up. Soviets is such a strong win more deck. Was way too aggressive with the T-72B. Nanda is not taking down. Meenon is in the +1, but as long as Nanda doesn't forget the time and isn't too aggressive or throws away too many units, he should be able to take a win from this, I'd say. By the way, Eugen is doing an Ask Me Anything on r/games tomorrow. Just saying. I don't think this is gonna go all too well, but we'll see. But Meenon trying to do some sort of counter push here, not really working out though. For sake of VDV, oh boy. And at the same time, Nanda pushing on this side as well. He has to watch out though that he doesn't fuck up his micro with his tanks, but there's not a whole lot that could kill the T80UM outside of the Meenon 2 or a potential peace run, I'd imagine. The VDV, they're all in the open field here, or a lot of them are in the open field here on the ridge. That's Nanda has to watch out for that. Oh, I don't think he's gonna. Oh, he did hit. barely the second RPG. Lane just got killed. I assume it was a peace run. It was a block 5. Try and go for the TADM, dealt 4 damage. TADM only having 3 top armor, whereas the T-72BU has 4 top armor. That did used to matter a lot more than it does now, back when... Oh god. Epic. Back when you used to see the Harrier GR7 a shit ton. And other laser guided bomb planes. Nowadays you mainly see the Kerners, where it still matters, just simply not as much, since you don't see the Kerners as much as you used to see the GR7, I'd say. And with cluster planes being rarely seen, it also obviously matters. Nanda now with a +2, capping both Golf, Foxtrot, and now Bravo soon as well, giving him a +3. And yeah, as we see, Meenon is just about to surrender. As, in case you don't know, a surrender means automatically 500 points for Nanda, which would matter in case the first game is a win for Nanda, second game for Meenon, and third game is a draw, or if all 3 games are draws. That's where the amount of conquest points that you gained would come into play. Alright, that was a very decisive win by Nanda. Let's take a look at game 2 on Nuclear Winter. Nanda, having won with Soviets, can't play Soviets again. And is playing Baltic or Finland. He submitted both Baltic front as well as Finland, so I am not sure what he played here, because on some games he played Finland before he played Baltic, which I found interesting, I believe. Regarding, okay, this is Baltic. Regarding Eugen and Cold War game, I'm just not gonna comment on that, I think. Not because I'm like, I don't wanna upset Eugen, but more because I'm not sure what I just should say in terms of the stuff that I know. If you get my drift, if you catch my drift. Alright, Meenon, I believe this is mixed moto, right? UH1H with, yeah, this has to be mixed moto. Elite Links H7s. Veteran UH1H. This is Blue for motorized. One of the few maps where Blue for motorized is still really good. Outside of Nuclear and Punch Bowl, I'm not really a huge fan of this deck. It used to be a lot stronger. And with DLC and their ridiculously strong infantry and mech units, it's really tough to really get a lot out of it. Against like a deck that relies on a lot of tanks, you can also do a lot of work on, let's say, Mudfight with like Peace Pheasants and Hornets. Obviously, you still have the OPA Max 10. Outside of that, the speed advantage isn't really as big of a deal as it used to be. M1 Wilkes, Spados. Not using those Spados. I'm pretty sure just mainly to have cheap, fast shock infantry for town fighting. Because as amazing as Yakari are, they're not the best for town fighting. That's the only thing where they're just really not that great. They're good for defending, and it's not really they're awful. But if the opponent can use micros decently and has shock infantry in the town, then the KD90 are just gonna get melted as soon as it's CQC. HGB, those are, well, let's see, I got it. That's interesting. Also don't see those all too often nowadays. They're obviously great. 15 men, recoilless rifle, that's very good for defending towns. And flanks, like single towns on flanks, because they're very self-sufficient, have a lot of range. So single units that might try to sneak around can easily get killed by that. That SAS held up Nanda quite a bit and forced him to buy 2 Spados. Not really a huge deal, because those are like 60 points or something. Where's the link? 65 points versus 50 points, so actually Not really a huge deal because it didn't really stop Nanda from doing something that he wanted to do, I presume. M1 Wilk being forced. Ooh. Is he? I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused. He bought 2 M1 Wilks that he sent down there. Okay, now they're okay. Okay, it's all moving back. It's okay. Buying a 3-stack of mortars as well, by the way. So I assume buying charioteers here. Nanda is gonna. Oh, I hope you didn't. Oh, that wasn't so loud. I accidentally touched my mic. I assume Nanda is just gonna play defensive here in India now. I can understand that attacking against a fortified mortar deck can be annoying. That they have, like with Not-Ded-Yet, of course, but also Chumats, which Meenon unfortunately doesn't have here on the M3 Bradley. A1 Bradley, interesting. I probably also would have personally preferred that because with M84 ANs shit around, it's relatively easy to just lose your recon fighting vehicle, so you don't really want to spend like 80 points or whatnot, or 90 points, I think the M3 A2 is. And if you just want something that can kill like IFVs and just side shot enemy tanks, if it's in range, the I2 does more or less the same job, and just for cheaper, right? M3A2 does have better armor, but I think with the bad autocannon it doesn't really matter as much anyways. Meenon being very aggressive with this Bradley here, I think I wouldn't personally just move something like this through a forest. But I assume that for the near future nothing too much is gonna happen here. Meenon is potentially gonna try to get into the town, but I think as soon as Nanda is gonna actually push down here, he's probably gonna be focused on defending that. And it doesn't look like Meenon sees it coming. I think Meenon is probably a bit wary, a bit confused, and it seems like he's kind of buying defensive or buying stuff for every side because he's probably not sure what to expect. I don't think he did see all the Wilks being moved over, and I think now with these mortars coming in, he's probably gonna expect the push coming here. M3A2 can survive 23 kinetic, true. Yeah, I did say that with the extra armor. I mean, I'm not saying the M3A2 is like a horrible unit or anything. It's just that it's probably still, even if it has 5 armor, it's still pretty easy to lose. So, yeah. He probably should have waited a bit. Oh god, look at this huge ass snowcloud. That's also so Nanda. I think Nanda just doesn't want doesn't want to take any chances in potentially getting like side shot through a little gap that's here. And now Meenon is deciding to counter push, moving one of these 103Cs down. Deciding to counter push here, no 80 gem infantry in the town. I think that's gonna cost Nanda massively. I have a feeling that they're gonna trade their 2-pointers. 103Cs are gonna be nice, but I don't think they're gonna be able to stand up against the 4-stack of Wilks. Although they might be able to, they might run out of fuel. These Not-Ded-Yet are gonna be tough to kill them, I think. It's gonna take a while for Nanda to get through them. This is gonna be interesting here. And Nanda again with the 3-stack of scouts. Unload. Okay, did unload. 1-3C dead. The other one dead. Yeah, okay, they're all dead. There's a Chumat. Gephardt killing the Not-Ded-Yet at the MI-17. MI-17 would have been crucial to deal with those Not-Ded-Yet. Nanda should probably try to smoke this off so that the Panzerjäger don't have aren't getting spotted while crossing into the town. Pierre Links 87's out of ammo. They're not gonna do all too much. Meenon playing without a VOD. Sometimes you see Modo being played with a VOD. He doesn't really have anything against the 103C, and that's where an anti-jam infantry in the town here would have potential would have probably be very, very helpful. The only thing that actually being moved out must have been a missed micro. Probably because he... I don't know why. Oh, he lost 3 of his wilks because they ran out of fuel. Man, those Shumats definitely paid for themselves. That's again Nanda being just a bit too aggressive. The wilks should have stayed here and just... Nanda doesn't really have all too much to gain here if he stays here, I think, with the wilks. MF lost line of sight to whatever it wants to shoot at. And Nanda losing this 2-pointer effectively. He doesn't have full control over this yet, and the 103C is probably gonna suffer quite well, but I completely forgot this. Nanda is taking with -5, or Meenon is taking with +5. And looks like he's on his way on killing Golf's V. Ah, that's very unfortunate for Nanda. That's why the Nolandsjäger removed in. Ooh, those Panzerjäger got deleted. And Gebhardt nearly killing the second MiG-21. And Nanda is about to run out of conquest points, I guess is one way to put it. Yep. That's what not buying a SV gets you. That's the opposite of the fire starter play. It was looking pretty bad for Nanda anyways, even if you ignore the tick. But certainly not unwinnable by any means. So that's... on the other hand, you know, if Nanda bought CVs and spent these points on CVs, he might have just simply not be able to get into a position like this, obviously. As I said, game 3, I did cast with someone else. You'll see that up on my channel tomorrow. You did buy CVs? I mean, I guess you bought them. You had to see for your right side, right? But then you had to reverse it. You didn't have one for the bottom 2-pointer, did you? And then obviously you lost your spawn CV. But Meenon also had the 1-point CV. So even like he was taking with +3, right? And then when you had to reverse your CV out of the 2-pointer, he was taking with +5 and then +6 briefly +6 when he killed your spawn CV, wasn't it? I mean, he was taking throughout the whole game for the most part. Otherwise, he wouldn't have won by conquest points. He was taking +1 the whole time. Did I not see that? Oh, they killed 3 CVs? Oh god, I'm fucking blind. Alright, I'm bad then. Oh god, okay. I take everything back. Should have bought base defense then. Alright, I think, right, I didn't cast the Benjy Blitzwar games yet, right? Which ones did I want to cast as well? Let me see. Yeah, I got called out. I should just close down my channel now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go over the Blitzwar and Saltburg games. Blitzwar Benjy game 1, held in a very small place. I was casting at ×2 speed and only did it 2 times and over the last minute or something. And ×1 speed is too slow for me. What do we have? Benjy playing Entente, I presume. Yeah, not mech. Hi Mom, hi Milan. Wow, what about me? And the Blitzwar playing, is it Dutch-German mech? That seems to be Dutch-German mech. Oh yeah, he really likes those recoilless rifle jeeps. He really likes those units. I think especially on this map they're bad because it's so close range, and with Entente having like shit ton of shit tons of autocannons with the BVPs and the recoilless rifles with the PBs. They're just gonna get instantly popped. I mean, I guess they're alright for the opener, but I still don't think they're worth using. You might as well just use the recon autocannon vehicle. It's just so much more useful in my opinion. Blitzwar did spot this with his bow. Going quite heavy on this side. Relatively heavy. Sometimes you see people sending like a single infantry squad for this and that's all. Mostly going here, but sending... Actually no, it's a lot of stuff, but it's actually just like 50 points or something over here. It's just reservists. Not sure what's in there. That's the Meenon squad. Definitely going mainly for here. Grenadier spam, 2 2A1s. I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a whole lot of points. It feels like he's missing like 100 points or something. I mean, obviously it didn't start with the second sweep, but instead got a farm. Hera flying around, gonna get killed. Oh no, it's not even an autocannon vehicle. Probably still gonna get killed by that if I had to guess. OCU coming in for this M84As. With the OP off-road speed, should be able to block line of sight. Yeah. AKM missing all 3 of its missiles. Kind of unfortunate, but that's what you... Oh wow, that M84A like deleted those 2 at once. And Blitzwar's push in general just got deleted. He didn't get into here. Lost both of his 2A1s and probably just gonna desperately try to make something up on this side. What is probing here, going through this whole forest. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this spawn, not sending even 1 unit over on this side. I've said it before. Even if you end up losing that, you're gonna get information. Because if you lose your units to like a 4-stack of infantry or to like an infantry squad and a medium tank or something, you know, oh shit, there's a medium tank there that could side-shot me, stuff like that. And even if you lose it to a single squad, you paid like 15, 20, 25 points for that. It's not the end of the world, but the potential information or just that, yeah, potential information that you could get is massively, definitely worth more than just 25 points. And if you're not gonna lose that, and the enemy isn't pushing here, then you know for certain there's nothing in here, most likely. For certain, most likely, yeah. Then if you bought that squad here and it doesn't die, then you know nothing is there. And will just get killed. Even if they get just killed, like I said, you get information tag B. And those 20, 25 points, that's worth it. Losing it. All the time. It depends on who you play against, dude. It depends on who the fuck you play against. But whatever. Getting this on obviously very crucial for Benjy. Getting a scout here also very nice. Gonna mostly negate the effect that this forest has. Probably Palbrancy 90 squad would have been probably more useful over here. But it's not really all too bad. Did he get line of sight on these Milans because he was pushing up the M84As? He does. Granichari allow him to get line of sight there. Oh, that's very good. Yep. Still 2 2A1s here, but with the help of the Druks that he's probably gonna put into the town and the M84As here, shouldn't really be a big issue. Buying a Yotzog, huh? Did I miss Mila Benjy buying a plane? Because I mean, Blitzwar is on the back foot, and I assume that it's just like a preventable type of buy here. But if you're on the back foot, you can't really go for this. You need to make up ground, and buying something, to prevent the... I don't know. I don't agree with this. I think you should rather buy ground units to push somewhere, like either be it here or be it in mid. But it's not like he saw Benjy spam planes or something that he needs to get rid of. Still though, Benjy looking good. Milan 2 here, however. This position here could really If Blitzwar decides to push mid, this position could be a pain in the butt for Benjy. Especially if the Meenon 2 is gonna get into this position or even here. Could potentially snipe some key units. But Blitzwar is deciding to push here. Probing or sending his reservists with 3-1s behind. It's not a whole lot of stuff though. It's most importantly not a whole lot of fire support for the reservists. Good thinking by Benjy, smoking off the 2-1 so he can very quickly deal with those reservists before the 2-1s can do too much damage. And there the M84As, and another one waiting here just for the side shot. Maybe should have put the M84AN here instead of over there, because here he actually has line of sight that you could use his recon, his optics for. Then again, he does have Granitare in here, so it's not a huge deal. OCU kills one A84A, gets hit by the AKM. Still probably worth it for, or definitely worth it for Blitzwar, considering he already had the OCU. So he wants get out scot-free, but I don't think Blitzwar dealt really all too much damage on this side. I'm not sure if he even killed a single unit there. He damaged, obviously, the infantry, but 2 Stormtrooper now pushing here, but especially with the BVPs and the Stormtrooper out in the open, they're gonna get melted by these BVPs. Benjy does spam a lot of flames, yes, I agree, but he didn't so far. And if you're on the back foot, you can't really go for like these, let's buy this unit in order to, you know, prevent the potential of Benjy buying planes and spamming me with planes, when this isn't gonna help you win the ground game, which you need to in order to, you know, get CVs in there. Blitzwar is gonna counter cap, but I think either Benjy's just gonna win because he has a conquest point lead, or he's just, which seems more likely, gonna push up here. I don't think he's gonna push Echo, but it's not really too unlikely. You never know. It's not really about what Benjy is thinking. When you're on the back foot, you can't really buy units for all the potential outcomes that might happen. Benjy might suddenly start to plane spam, but what if Benjy doesn't? What if Benjy starts to spam M84As, and ground units, which is what he's doing. I mean, he's not really spamming them, but he's clearly focusing on ground units. So the Eos, the Eoshawk, still useless to this point. That's why you can't. If Benjy can do these kind of buys where he's like, let's buy some more AA in case Blitzwar decides to buy a lot of helos, alright? Benjy can do that. Because Benjy has the grounds and has the extra income to spare. Because he can play defensively and thus needs less points to win engagements. Again, that's not the case for Blitzwar. M84A getting very low, probably gonna get killed here, yep. M84As versus 2A1s, 2A1s are gonna lose. With the help of the OTs. Heat, obviously always gonna deal at least 1 damage to this. And all the infantry gets deleted, and that Meenon 2 nearly got another shot of. Oh, these Paloparanti are gonna, yep. And that's a dead 2A1, and that's yet another engagement won by Benjy. He did lose one of the M84As, and I'm pretty sure the OCU is also still alive, but it was, you know, what did Benjy kill? He killed 2 2-in-1s, a bunch of infantry, and also Blitzwar buying 2 M110s, trying to snipe CVs, but hey, Benjy has a T-72 CV. I'm not sure why he's doing this, but whatever. Also, this is why you get the T-72 CV. Granted, the M110s seem to be quite off with their target, barely damaging the T-72, but if they're gonna hit more consistently, or if they're actually gonna hit, a T-55 CV would take more damage. And as I said, yep, Benjy is gonna push him out of Foxtrot, and the Eoshawk, having done nothing, is probably gonna get killed by the BVP here. Yeah. Rather unspectacular game, very one-sided. It felt to me like, for some reason, that as if Blitzwar went into this game thinking, well, I'm playing mech, how can I lose this, right? And then he felt it didn't really get a proper push. I think it felt as if like he wasn't really aware that he's playing against Entente and BVP spam and stuff, because he had the 2-2-1s, but he didn't really have anything like a Mara 2 or something that could deal with like BVP spam. And looking at this, he hasn't bought a single Mara 2. Maybe he doesn't even have it in his deck. And that's the GG. So very decisive win by Benjy. I think these types of games and maps is probably what suits Benjy the most, where he can focus on a single front line, basically doesn't have to worry too much about flanks and shit. Entente is the mech killer, probably. Yeah, it's probably Entente. Baltic should also do pretty good against mech. You have slightly worse medium tanks, but you still have M1 rigs, which are great. Infantry spam itself is arguably better, like as in the infantry itself is better for spamming, but you obviously don't have BVPs, which are very helpful against like these 5-point spams. But especially also with the Plummet that Benjy could have gotten. Entente is one of the best, probably the best unspec deck to fight mech with. Maybe he expected human turns going uphill in mid again. Let's take a look at the second game. Haddonfield. What do we have? Blitzwar. Oh, is he playing? No, he's not playing France Moto. God, that's unfortunate. Alright, Benjy playing Baltic by the looks of it. Baltic versus Eurocore. Hang on. Is this Eurocore motorized? This is Eurocore motorized. Oh boy. I think if memory serves me correctly, I believe Blitzwar sent in Eurocore Moto and France Moto, and then Dutch mech and another mech deck. I think he sent in 2 mech and 2 moto decks. The 2 moto decks obviously being France and Eurocore Moto. But this is obviously Eurocore Moto, since we see Fuchs Milans. Oh, Blue Moto. Oh, this is Blue Moto then. Yeah, this is Blue Moto, not Eurocore Moto. Okay. Yeah. You can stop spamming that I'm wrong. Okay, I know Saxons. I know. I only saw French and German units though. Like if you look at, if you look at this, especially from this point of view, for example, you see Crotal, a bunch of shit that you can't read canon. Yeah, that's made me think it's Eurocore. Okay, it's Blue Moto. And I think he sent in 2 moto decks, being Blue and France Moto, and I believe 2 mech decks, one which we saw. All right, so I still don't understand this. People sending a lot of units over this side. I think this is just horrible. Well, horrible is maybe an exaggeration, but just wrong push. Why are you gonna send so many units in here? Unless he's not gonna send those wigs down there. Kernas, oof. Going full cancer. Oh, he lost it though. Honestly, that's definitely worth it. That is definitely worth it. Oh my god, Rasmus, stop being such a scrub and misidentifying decks. Alright, okay. Let me just... Alright, you need to be, in case you haven't realized it yet, even, by me saying that he sent in a French moto deck. Blitzwar loves Amex 10s. And as he said of himself, and I'm paraphrasing here because I've only heard other people saying it, he likes to freestyle. Meaning, whatever that's supposed to mean. Probably just meaning, hey, he's just gonna fast move and tech move on all sides of the maps, whatever he feels like doing. And this is literally what he's doing. 3 Amex 10 RCs, 3 Amex 10 RC SPs around the side. A push that you don't see very often, but a bush that could also get completely fucked by this spike squad. It's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see. Also quite a lot of stuff on this flank. This is something that Benjy hates. Benjy hates stuff around flanks. Benjy hates fighting on multiple front lines. Like I said, the spike gonna have a field day here, although it's probably gonna get... Oh no! Okay. It got saved and still gonna get... Easily gonna get, you know, it's worth. Definitely worth it. Still unfortunate though that he nearly lost there. 2 cluster planes coming in. Going for the Wilks that he presumed are still there, although they're gone. So the blocks are doing nothing. They obviously didn't get killed either, but they did nothing. So that's good for, kind of good for Benjy, because it's 200 points basically being delayed, if you want to look at it that way. You know, he didn't lose the planes, but they also didn't do anything. So it's as if he bought the 2 planes and didn't do anything with that for like 2 minutes. Oh, those Fallschirmsjäger are gonna sideshot the Wilk. Right, they went for the Wilk, which is good for Benjy, because the side shot to the T-55 would have killed it. Although he's just gonna stop reversing. Probably he's scared of these MX-10s. Oh, that's very unfortunate. He shouldn't have reversed, he should have tried to engage those. With the 2 MGs, 2 guns, he probably could have stunned the Fallschirmjäger instantly and prevented the second shot coming out. Now he lost directly and indirectly the T-55 and the M1 Wilk here. Benjy though doing a good job against this flank here and against this kind of push that Blitzwar is doing here. Should definitely move the Erikos into this hedge line here. Exactly for this reason, for Lynx H7 that could completely fuck him up. MiG-29 being mod. Probably at the wrong time because... Oh no. Oh no. This is not what you wanna see happen. Yeah, luckily for him, he didn't buy a 2-point CV, otherwise it probably would have been dead by now. Or he would have been forced to reverse it, so that's in a way good for Benjy. Lynx H7 used all of its missiles, looks like on BTR 50s and stuff. Blitzwar doesn't have a fob, so Lynx H7 probably not gonna get resupplied. Blitzwar being way too aggressive with that AMX, and he should have just put it in here as let it stay in there, possibly just turn off the gun. Crotal, did it lose line of sight, or why did it not shoot the second missile? He could have, I guess he was scared of the Wilk, but he still has one missile left, so he could finish off the M8T. Not sure why he's not doing it. Block 15, killing the MiG-29. MiG-29 killed one of the Block 5s. Block 5 did not drop its bombs. I got 1 hit on it, I believe, or either of the blocks. So you're not gonna see that for a while, which is better than nothing. The M1 here died, by the way. I missed that once again. Don't think it was to those Meenons, otherwise they would have vetted up. Possibly to the SAS. Still, Blitzwar doing more flank stuff here, which is very annoying for Benjy, because as I said, he hates that. Should probably just put something in here. Maybe like a recon infantry with a spike, and I don't know. It's always annoying to deal with this stuff, especially if the enemy just keeps on reinforcing this. But at least Benjy is coming back into here. He still has this goal foothold, still has this foothold here, although it's halfway lost it. Bought another MiG-29. Shouldn't circle it. I would suggest, if you have like long range ASFs, don't circle it on paddy field. Buy them reactionary, because he's gonna run out of fuel now, and now it's gonna evac, and Blitzwar knows that he has a time window where Benjy can't send out his ASF, and where his airplanes are basically unchallenged outside of AA. Could potentially be quite annoying, although Benjy still does have the IDO-90 here. Still though, with the, as I said before, the spawns being so close, you usually can't just buy or send out your ASFs as soon as you see the enemy plane and still be able to get the shots off. IDO-90 and Eriko is killing the Block 5. IDO-90 got killed, but that's 2 Block 5s down now. And I think that's a trade you take. He also killed 1 Kernus at the start. and lost 2 IDO 90s in total. Ulisikari 90 got caught out in the open, got killed by the while in the transport. I would definitely like to see Benjy send something into like this bush and this bush. He has a KT here, but it's just safer because he can always lose the KT significantly more easily. Or at the very least something into this town or so. Still though, Benjy not looking too bad. He has to make sure that he's not losing this though, which he is probably gonna lose now. Definitely needs an M1 Wilk here to deal with the aim extents. They're gonna be a pain in the ass otherwise. Oh god, Benjy doesn't know that he could just push up like one of these Seekari squads and like at the very least be annoying to Blitzwar. But obviously, you know, hindsight is 2020. But I think with having 5 squads here, definitely just worth trying. Even if you're just losing it for free, you still have 4 squads left to defend. That's plenty. Number 17, very lucky here that he has it. Gonna kill at least one of these, right? Shot. Yeah, when the MX Senate shot originally got out of range, so he shot at the other one, getting both down to 2 HP, which actually is gonna matter, I think, against those charioteers. Still kind of annoying. Also, again, surprised to see that Blitzwar doesn't have, apparently, I assume, not a single Chumat, or no Chumat in the side. KT not quite able to deal with the Humvee CV, and I believe. Oh god, I love it when this happens. The CV infantry shot a couple of salvos or shots at the KT. As you see, it got that 1 damage and instantly got a crit to jam its weapons. That is so lucky by Blitzwar. It is so lucky. What's in the bottom left corner? Good eye. That's a TGB. Oh, that's very lucky. M1 will kill exactly what he needs. I don't know the plane tab by Blitzwar, but he already lost 1 card of anti-tank planes and lost half of the other card, which is a Kernas. I don't know if he has anything else like a Peace Pheasant or an A10 or a Hornet maybe, or a Peace Rhine. But if he doesn't, then dealing with Wilks can be quite annoying with only 1 Kernas left. At the same time, Benjy has to watch out for these fucking Meenon 2s, and he just lost a Wilk to it. Okay, there it is. Peace Pheasant. Killed one of the Wilks. MiG-29 got killed as well. Peace Pheasant got shot down by the air decoys, and I assume that the MiG-29 got another hit on it. And allowing the air decoys to finish it off. Still though, that's gonna allow Blitzwar to basically take this forest, kind of. Depends on how he's gonna... maybe not quite. I don't think the Gewehrmen are gonna lift fast enough to spot for the AMX-10, allowing the AMX-10 to kill the air decoys. So I think Benjy still has some time. Although certainly Benjy can't really reinforce this very effectively with the AMX-10 looking down there. Good smoke here. I don't know if it's gonna do too much because Blitzwar could just move them over. SAS probably gonna kill the KT in a bit. Navy Seals is also very interesting, but they're just gonna get melted by the Wilk. Oh, Benjy. Okay. There's an Osa. AKM getting 1 hit on it. Peace Pheasant down to 3 HP. You're not gonna see that for a while. What are you doing, Benjy? What are you doing? You need more smoke. Okay, there's the smoke. But yeah, that was way too optimistic by him. Oh, catching them out in the open, that's very good for Benjy, of course. X87 with SBS. E72 CV for Bravo. Yeah, I guess it's fine. I'm not sure if it's too early. Because he's still in a very awkward position on this side. I feel like this is gonna really bite him in the ass that he can't fully deal with this. And the peon is probably gonna die to that Milan too, eventually, if I had to guess. Oh my god, both the Wilk and the T-55 missed on the Gewehrman. Again! One T. Also, you don't see that very often. And getting one shot. Not getting one shot. Oh, okay, nearly got killed by the Meenon too. Also, with 7 HP, obviously can one shot the 6 HP Cobra. Benjy marking that he lost his KT. I'm wondering if if he got watched by Milan during the game over a Steam broadcast. Buying a second CV, I don't think that's a good call. You still have 20 minutes left. You're not too far behind. So as long as you're ticking during this time, I don't think buying a second CV is a good call, because your foothold here is still very eh. And I think you'd rather, as long as you're taking +1, like I said, I think you'd rather just reinforce the positions that you have. Or be an annoyance to your opponent and force him to spend more points somewhere else. Obviously, as we're gonna see, Blitzwar is just about to countercap Bravo. So my point is gonna be moot. But obviously Benjy didn't know that Blitzwar bought a Humvee CV. We also haven't seen Benjy. This is the second game now where Benjy bought barely any planes. He bought 2 MiG-29s, that's it, no ground attack planes. I'm actually surprised, because Hawks could, against like this motor deck, Hawks could probably do a lot of work against all these light armored units. T-55 is also a godsend for him. Peace Pheasant 2 got repaired coming in again. Doesn't get a missile off. Must have spotted the T-55 though. I wonder if he had told the Peace Pheasant to attack the Wilk, and then it lost line of sight on the Wilk. And no, usually it would just go for the next thing it sees, I believe. Kerner's coming in, didn't kill anything, and got down to 4 HP as well. Both planes got hit, neither killed though, but that obviously means you're not gonna see them for a while. Navy SEALs, they're gonna get cooked by this BMP2, unless the BMP2 is gonna get cooked by the Red Cannon. BMP2 should have stayed there, then it could have killed the Navy SEALs and, more importantly, potentially the Meenon too. Obviously Benjy doesn't know that, but it's always a bit unfortunate from the casting perspective. Spike killing the Leopard is very, very important. Oh, and the Wilk is not getting killed just yet. Yeah, the Navy SEALs are gonna spot that, you're not gonna turn invisible. T-55 just standing out in the open. Oof, he got lucky. These Meenon 2 were on attack move. You could see that. That was obviously open field, and with these Navy SEALs, he could obviously spot it. So the Meenon 2 did not lose line of sight. What happened is, Blitzwar told these Meenon 2 to attack move into like this forest or something. Meaning, as soon as any enemy unit got into range of the weapons, the Meenon 2 would shoot until either they're out of ammo or out of line of sight. Or the enemy is dead, right? Which is basically equivalent to out of line of sight in a way. What happens with guided weapons is that if you shoot, I know I explained this like 20 times, but there's always people who don't know this, okay? So bear with me. With guided weapons, be it an ATGM or a radar AA missile or like an AA missiles, on ground units and helicopter units as well to a certain extent, maybe not necessarily helicopter units, but whatever. For this Meenon 2 squad, if you attack move them and something gets in range of their Meenon, then they're gonna stop, aim the Meenon and shoot. Now, if in the middle of the missile being in the air, the enemy unit gets out of range, let's say, if you look at this, 2,450 meter, it's now 2,500 meter away, what the Meenon 2 is doing, it's instantly gonna move again until something is in line of range of the weapons, right? Now, this also means that the missile that was in the air is just instantly just gonna hit the ground and do basically nothing, right? However, what happens if the Meenon 2 is shooting with its missiles and you had it on attack move and you just tell it to stop, then it's gonna stand still, still aim the missile, and if the enemy unit is driving out of range, as long as the Meenon 2 have line of sight, they will keep guiding the missile onto the target and potentially hit. So if you attack move your units with guided weapons and they're gonna shoot with the guided weapon, go to the hotkeys or to the buttons and select them and press stop. This is not gonna stop them from firing a missile. The stop command is never gonna stop a unit from firing its weapons. The stop command only stops like the movement commands. That's something that you have to know. It's never gonna stop them from firing. You can only stop them from firing by moving them if it's a stationary weapon or turning your weapons off. Alright, Peace Vessel 2 got repaired again. I think it only got hit by like one air recoil, so it only took 4 damage. Oh, Rome got the crit on it. F-18C as well. So that's... I'm not sure if Blitzwar lost both ASFs yet or only one of them. I'm uncertain. But Blitzwar has 1 Colonels left and potentially 1 ASF. And I don't think he has the 5th plane card in his deck. It's very hard to fit in 5 cards of planes in mixed decks nowadays. However, this is looking very good for Benjy. No, if Benjy, there's the Colonels again. F-18C, it got damaged, so it's not gonna come out just yet. But getting down the work to 1 HP. Is it gonna get finished off by the Meenon 2? It's not. The Meenon 2 probably wouldn't have fit considering it's shaken. And as you just saw, had 29% accuracy and now 33 at like the BTR 50s, yeah. Blitzwar buying Saxons here. I think those have Gurkha's 90, a unit that I don't like. But 4 of those, if you can get into this forest without taking too much damage, be it morale or direct damage, could certainly really screw over Benjy. Again, Benjy is not that great at operating at multiple fronts. Obviously, nobody is like, it's obviously always harder to operate at multiple fronts, but Benjy is even more suspect. What's the fucking word? It's even easier to do against Benjy, I guess that's one way to put it. Benjy not buying anything just yet. He just bought a marksman. Probably the wrong call in hindsight, especially considering he has the air recoils here and also a romp that he could just resupply. So and he also just bought an IDA-90. I think he was kind of expecting a lot of helicopters, and yeah, that now he's realizing what's happening here. Susceptible. That's the word. Thank you very much. Cuckable. Gurkhas are just gonna one-shot those charioteers. Benjy should start moving out this T-72 CV. I guess it's only 8 minutes. It's not a whole lot of, but it's a good amount of time. So there is a point in just letting it sit in here if he thinks that he can't get in here and get as many conquest points out of it as he can. But then at least turn your fucking weapons on. Okay, he is gonna send it out. Still, please turn on your weapons. You're gonna be reversing. The enemy is gonna see you, so you might as well shoot back if you have the chance. And you just got side shot. That's unfortunate. Even then, though, it's still just a stalemate now. So unless Blitzwar can of course put a CV in here, but it's gonna be tough if Benjy has this. But Benjy should definitely just see if he can get a scout in here and get more line of sight. These Meenon 2, honestly, these Meenon 2 survived for far too long. They shouldn't. Either keep smoking them off or just fucking bomb them or kill them or something. They should not survive for so long. And they barely got smoked off throughout the game, if at all. And this leopard obviously, that's very annoying. Because the spike, killing the VDAA though can allow the KT to do a lot of damage. Gurkha's now being just allowed to push down here, that shouldn't happen. The KT though being here to potentially save the day at least. Perna's coming in. Oh god, these MXN are gonna kill the T-72. +1, that's 15 points per minute. +1 is not gonna do it, +2 should be able to do it. That's 240 points in 4 minutes. 120 points, I mean. MX-10 got stuck in the mud. Smoke, you're too... Oh, you're too slow, Benjy. Ah, this is... Barely. I think the main problem here that Benjy never got into a proper position here, because having a proper position here indirectly secures him golf. And he never tried to like probe or do anything in here. That was, I think, a huge mistake by Benjy. I think it's also been pointed out in chat. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously understandable that it's not as easily done, considering all the units that Blitzwar had here and all the influence, you know. But I think there are plenty of opportunities where Benjy could have done something there. And what he, like, even if he can't take down this road, he could just smoke this off and then reinforce over this road here. Just with a bunch of smoke. He had plenty of mortars. Yeah, instead Benjy, you know, sometimes, you know, he's kind of the opposite of Nanda, I feel. Nanda is always so aggressive. Sometimes, you know, losing games or at least making life harder for him than it has to be. Benjy seems to be quite the opposite. Sometimes he's too defensive. It's obviously easy for me to say, you know, watching the replay. I don't know what their thought process is. I don't, you know, I mean, I could, but I don't know what exactly they see, what they know, etc., etc. But, and I obviously don't claim to always do the perfect thing or claim that I would have done the perfect thing. But Benjy was just too defensive here. The opposite of Nanda. It's actually it's actually kind of fascinating. Now that I think about it. I never thought about it this way, that Benjy seems to be kind of the opposite of Nanda. Nanda doing often also sometimes what Blitzwar does, just attacking on multiple front lines, or just, as you saw in the Nuclear Winter game, just completely shifting his forces to the other side of the map. Yeah. Alright, let's watch game 3. If I can find it. Press F for Benjy. Ooh, Nuclear Winter. I don't think that's Benjy's favorite map. Okay, Benjy's playing Baltic again. Blitzwar. Oh, is that French I think that's French motorized. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, this is French mode. So you might ask yourself, just like I, why use France modo over Euroco modo, right? Why? Well, what is this attack point? Well, the reason is, for Blitzwar prefers to have the availability bonus of France to get more AMX 10 instead of having access to the German units, being for motorized mainly planes, the Recon Tiger, potentially Fallschirmjäger 90 if you like that, and other stuff like the Roland 3, the mortar. Was he actually gonna... Wow, you don't see that very often nowadays. It is quite misplaced though, so it doesn't seem that he prepared this beforehand. It did virtually nothing. It barely dealt any damage to those BTR-50s and didn't slow down Benjy at all. Benjy kind of saw this coming apparently with all these helicopters, starting with 2 IDA-90s. I think starting with more air decoys instead of like getting like 1 IDA-90 and instead of the second one getting 2 air decoy squads would have been more effective in my opinion. Because you can spread them out more and they obviously have more presence on the ground. Poutine likes every map as long as he has helos. I agree. That's probably correct. Ooh, these units getting caught out in the open by the Panther here. Panther and Tigers also doing a lot of work here. Oh my, oh my. However, all these helicopters mean though that he doesn't have a lot of ground units, but the Tigers and Panthers are killing all the infantry and shit, so even though he doesn't have a lot of ground units, he is still killing a lot of them. Spikes are getting, I think, 2 AMX 10s here. Or at least 1. Yeah, 1, sorry, it only shot 1 missile. But obviously with the Legion 90 and a Meenon 3 here, he has a lot of effect on the area around. The Tiger is basically gonna stop any infantry from getting into this forest, into this town, and if it is, it's gonna open up fire with the snaps and the autocannon. So that's very awkward. Again, Benjy not even probing or checking anything out, not even driving his XA-180 apparently down here. He did kill the Puma pirate that was in there. What? Just... Oh, that's a KT. That killed the transport with the commando spotter. Okay. I guess he did probe a bit, but still... He should at least see if he could get like one of these Ikari squads in here. He does know how that Blitzwar spends so many points here, so getting at least something into this forest, potentially even into here or here, but at least in here, allows him to much easier potentially do a proper push on India later on. Even if he expects like ATGM infantry or something to be in here, to see if he can get into this forest can very much make his late game a lot easier. Legion 90 nearly getting that will kill. Tiger killing the KT here before it could get to the infantry CV. Benjy being able to get all the infantry out of here, which is actually surprising. How did the Legion 90 squad die so quickly? I assume that maybe they tried to go out in the open and got caught out by the Wilk or something, if I had to guess. Still though, it's good for Benjy. He isn't, however, yet in a position to stop the helicopter reinforcements. He's also, in my opinion, buying too much AA. He has the 2 idle 90s, it would be better to spread them out, resupply them, and instead of the marksman, in my opinion, get more air decoys, which he's doing now. Buying the CV for Foxtrot, that's a bit too early in my opinion. It is a 2-pointer though. Still a bit too early, I'd say, because he's still not in a good position here. And obviously, he has lost Delta and doesn't really have any presence in India. So I don't like this choice. It's a fire starter play. Which is not a good thing, by the way. Still though, the presence that Blitzwar has, it's mostly single units here and there. And that's the problem when you use helicopter heavy openers. You spend a lot of points on the helicopters, and other units just escorting your few infantry squads. So if you can catch these out with your significantly higher amount of ground units, that can very easily get you pushed out again. Blitzwar did do a good job of like actually getting value out of his helicopters, but they did all die, and Blitzwar also doesn't have a fob. Potentially resupply the Panthers and stuff. Gazelle cannon. That's one of the few times where the MiG-29 actually is kind of not really bad to have, but not having short range missiles means he can't really engage the cannon. He does have a gun, but it doesn't really work properly on helicopters. So he could very easily kill the Cobra or force a 65-point unit by, which isn't the worst of things because he will probably get a bit more value out of it later on, but still annoying for Benjy. MXM probably gonna get killed by the... I like the KTs here. Yeah, or the MI-17. No AA for Blitzwar, so the MI-17 and the Sokol could potentially do a lot of damage here. Or at the very least just help engaging, but apparently not. Seems like he prefers them to have like Gardes to prevent anything from just driving down here, which is understandable. Salamandra. Again, I said it before, and you'll see it on probably Thursday on my Baltic Front Revisited. Not a fan of this. And if you're using this, in my opinion, you should use it with a fob to get a lot of value out of it. Why is Benjy playing the same deck as in the previous match? Your deck only gets locked if you win the match. So Benjy lost, so he can play this again. Blitzwar won with his Blue 4 motorized deck, so he can't play this again in this set. Brutal. Can one-shot the Salamandra. Not having any... This is not looking good for Benjy, honestly. Benjy has so many more units on the field, so much more value, but he can't really do anything with it because he's, on the one hand, so hesitant. On the other hand, the Wilks are here, but they're not doing anything because they don't have the support units. The infantry here is not doing anything. Why? I don't know. He does have a lot of fire support here. He does... Move up your... Spread your I-90s, dude. He does have a KT here. He should at least try to see if he can get into this. I guess he's waiting for these CK-90s, but... He's still allowing Blitzwar to get in back and reinforce the stuff, and he shouldn't do that. India is so empty. Yeah, this is... I mean, obviously this doesn't just happen to Benjy. This happens to me as well. This happens to a lot of players where you... It's either because you're just too focused on reacting to the main push and the main force on this side, or it's a combination of both. You just overestimate what he has here. Because let's be fair, Blitzwar doesn't need a whole lot of stuff to deal with to Yakari squad, Spike squad, Eriko's, and the Killer KK. You don't need a lot of stuff. Even if you're a bit lucky, or if Benjy is not great, a single AMX-10 could do that. But obviously beforehand there was even less there, so he should have probably at least probed. And again, as I said, he saw how many units or how many points. Oh god, the Vab killing the Wilk. The marksman can easily kill the Vab T20 Benjy. It has 7 front armor. But as he saw how many points Blitzwar spent on helicopters, he should have known that there can't be a lot of stuff here. Oh, Legion 90. Wilk. Benjy is realizing it, pulling back his Wilk. He should also pull back his fucking Ido 90. Oh no, he's not. No, what are you doing, Benjy? No, you're gonna lose your Wilk. Benjy, what is you doing? Again, Blitzwar with not a whole lot of unit is doing so much damage to Benjy. Benjy had like 3 Wilks, or maybe even more, I'm not sure. And Blitzwar getting so much value out of these few units that he has. And Cassiope just wrecking on the Salamandra. Another reason I don't like it, not a single weapon to deal with any other helicopters. That even Gazelle Cannon could, if Benjy doesn't pay attention, which he didn't, deal with a Salamandra. Wow, another impressive throw by Benjy. Well, it seems like it so far. Again, Panther coming in, and again, just not gonna get killed or prevented. He has an ISO 90, but it's way too far in the back. Yes. Oh no, he lost the other one over there. This is just unfortunate. But this is just Benjy's weakness, this type of playstyle, this type of... And with a rather wide map that he's playing on. You could argue that if Benjy was playing from the other side, he might have had an easier time, because pushing this 2-pointer here is obviously a lot easier from Blitzwar's side. On the other hand, Benjy is not really playing, is probably playing one of the best decks to deal with this type of stuff as well. So yeah. And then obviously Benjy just did a lot of mistakes. XA180 not getting the kill because the Super Etendard is preventing it. Getting killed, but I mean, not a huge hit. Benjy getting finally some proper positioning in here. And, you know, there's not a whole lot of stuff between the T-55 and the P4 CV. CV getting killed, I think it was a Hawk 51. So Benjy finally pushing back. You should... the Wilks, push up your Wilk at least a bit, please. So you can actually shoot at those Legion 90. But there's a good chance that he didn't even spot them because of the good stealth. T55 dealing with that those AMX-10s. But again, Benjy is way too passive. Now all these units are standing still, doing nothing. Allowing Blitzwar to fully reinforce. I'm not saying you should just all out push fully on Blitzwar, but he's just a bit too hesitant. He needs... I guess a +1 would be enough, so I can understand him trying to go for Delta, but I think he should also just go for Charlie. And now, no. Getting a spike in here, it's understandable, but he shouldn't focus on defending this. He should focus on pushing now. He should focus on getting a foothold in Charlie or into this town, or not losing your T55 to an AMX-10. Now these Meenon F3 are gonna get resupplied. Minus para. There's the one from here, just walking around. I'm not sure if they will be able to actually... if they can get into this town block, they should be able to deal with it. And at the very least, they potentially might be able to get line of sight for Blitzwar's napalm plane to deal with this infantry CV. Oh, the Panther is gonna fuck these up, isn't he? Isn't it? I can't get a proper line of sight apparently. And now AUG 51 by Benjy, not doing anything. Benjy will need a CV soon. Especially since Blitzwar is buying one for Delta himself, getting him a +1 again. But at the same time, Benjy doesn't really have a proper foothold just yet. These Panthers are a nightmare for him. And again, Blitzwar just fortifying his position. He's losing a lot of units here, but at the same time, Benjy isn't really... He isn't and can't really push properly. Commandos power killing the CV. Yep. Now you broke Benjy, I think. Now is before this he was probably already very pessimistic, but now Benjy is broken. I think now it's over. Just mentally as well for Benjy. I'm gonna be interested to see what the KD is. I don't think it's all too bad for Benjy. He may even be ahead. I don't think he's gonna be ahead, but he may be. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he is ahead. That's wargame. You know, KD isn't everything. You know, if you're just playing defensive and not pushing properly, I mean, sure you're gonna get a lot of kills, but you're not getting the conquest points. Your KDs are not helping you. Well, let's see, what else could we... I think the Sarto as CKM matches are also what I wanted to look at. So let's make fun of Sar. I already have them, okay. Game 1. Oh, New K Winter again. CKM versus Sartos. CKM looks like mixed mech. Sar. Baltic, why are you using the BTR 50 CV, if I may ask? Hang on 1 second. Alright. Yeah, it's one armor, but it's also slow as fuck. Should play distraction instead of objective the better game mode. Right, yeah, this looks very much like blue for mechanized. One of the strongest decks, without a doubt. But I mean, he's going up against Baltic, also one of the strongest decks. Let's see. Looks like definitely going defensive here, even buying a Sopel on top of the Erikois. KT and Super Puma. If he's doing it properly, the KT should win. You should have stopped a bit earlier. Yeah, KT winning. Because it has an OP autocannon. Economy is definitely where it's at. Oh, yeah. Seekam kind of fucked up with the MXN here. I think he was afraid of the spike. Allowing the KT to get some damage in. Not a huge deal though. Opener though, looking good for Sar. I'm actually surprised to see Seekam going for this. Should get massively slowed down by the Erikois in here. They're gonna die obviously, but it should slow him down. And the spikes are gonna go, and the KT also slowing him down a lot. Erikois getting a lot of damage in. Again, gonna get killed, but they killed a lot of other shit as well. And there's So Jung-Soo here, but no. Hang on, are those no, that's the KF with the autocannon, right? Yeah. That's a lot of damage. That's why I'm not sure if the mech push is like. I think if you're playing against Baltic, you can't go for this push. You have to see, like, even if the Erikois weren't here, the spike in here is gonna do so much damage. Especially considering you don't even have mortar. Why didn't you start with the mortar? Obviously the Erikois are the main damage, but you can't push this against Baltic if you're not gonna get a mortar to smoke the spike off. The smoke kind of prevented him from killing the MX10. It's a bit unfortunate. Spikes should move into this. Yeah, okay, he's moving them up. Get some more carry in here to stop him from just moving through this forest here. Or he's putting him into the forest. I would have left one in the town because I think. I mean, he doesn't have a scout here, but if he had a scout there, then he could spot these spikes and just kill them as soon as they shot one missile. Missile. There's currently nothing really, no news about Fireside as a war game really, I think. Oh, those Erikois. Yeah, they would need a sideshot to one-shot it, but only two up front to kill it. Move them, move them. Oh, got slide on side for a split second and killed it. Oh, that's a very good start for Sar. Like a really good start. Nothing really happening up top. Both, I think, just kind of happy to play defensive. Oh, and the spikes in here should definitely split them up though to slightly put them into different positions. Otherwise, you might be able to get killed too easily by like some AoE effects. Still though, Sar looking very good here. Seekam just casually buying a 4-stack of mortars. Alright, that's one way to do it. I guess you heard me complain that he doesn't start with any. Okay, balanced. I'm sorry, Sar, that I called you balanced. Sar's having 3 CVs, the Scott, the BTR-50, and the Stab. I think instead of the BTR-50, I would have personally used the tank CV. The Scott is still cheap enough, and having 4 of these and 3 of these, 7 cheap CVs and like 3 more expensive T-72s was still affordable. In my opinion, a better choice. Because the BTR-50, while it is armored, is also slow as fuck, so it's hard to properly avoid like artillery and bombing and stuff like that. M1A1 is gonna make life for Sar a bit tough, especially near max range, but at M1 Wilk and a T55 won't do too much damage. T55 with its stealth could be annoying though. I'm not sure if the MX, I think the MX10 is too deep to spot the T55 if it's firing. But the T55 doesn't seem to have line of sight on the M1A1. Sar, what are you doing? Sar! You just got lucky as fuck. You should have lost at Wilk. That was You must have seen it was an M1A1, so why did you try to push up further after you already took one shot? Move up your T55 a bit so you can actually shoot at it. Still, SAR doesn't really need to push here at the moment. I think it's enough for him to be annoying for now, because I'm not sure if he can sustain trying to hold his forest in the long run. What you probably should do is try to hold this and be annoying over the open field, and potentially work on getting to town while he still has the air decoys in here, because as long as he has the air decoys in here, Seekam can't really resupply this effectively, and he probably doesn't know, but it's relatively easy to find out if there's ATGM infantry in here. And since there's not, which he would see, he can assault this at this point in time relatively easily. Imagine not buying an M2 Wilk against mech. Yeah, that's a good point. M2 Wilk is a very, very, very strong tank against mech. Yeah, but now Eriko is getting pushed out. It was to be expected. There's no way they can hold themselves forever, obviously. But they did do a lot of damage, and just being there and stopping Seekam on reinforcing this properly is worth 35 points in its own. Turn off the weapons on your CC. When they're only 1 HP and you're not reinforcing them, just turn off the weapons so they're not firing at all. Because now the only really point of them are their optics, and them having any weapons is basically worthless. Unfortunate that they missed, but now they got it. That spike here, oh man, spikes are so annoying. Another M1 Wilk. There's the 4-stack of mortars. Obviously very good to have indirect fire support if you want to attack this, but just keep them deep in the forest so that the M1A1 can't get line of sight from outside. Hey, CC dies. Don't go too... No. Yeah, get back in here. Especially with the mortars, don't bait him too hard. Is he really just murdering the 2-stack of charioteers? Oh, is he trying to CV some? Oh, he's actually he's going for the counter mortar. Okay, I see. Does the blue player realize he's playing Conquest, not Destruction? Yes, he does. Seekam counter-capping this. I mean, it isn't SAR's interested to just keep the way it is, just keep on fighting in this area, because as long as it's happened, nobody's gonna tick and SAR is gonna win, right? I think he just has to make sure to keep it at longer distances where he can use spikes and the, in theory, heavier tanks that he has access to better effect. Those range fights are where mech excels at. Not only that, also just wide fights, fight over a wider area of the map and not just in one little area. So I'm not sure if going for this forest is too good of an idea. On the other hand, forcing the fight into here, into the enemy zone, means that Seekam is gonna be busy here, which means that even if Seekam just wins this fight, it doesn't really automatically, gain him anything. He only gains back what he lost, right? So that means that it's basically effectively just buying time for SAR. That's why you don't 3-stack your tanks. Colonel's got out live, but now all 3 are panicked. One is down to 2 HP, the other to 80 HP. So they do have autoloaders, but the panic obviously still affects their accuracy, and at close range, most importantly, the aim time. I'm pretty sure against these panic Wilks, the K1s will win, even if they're outnumbered. Mortars are gonna start run out of ammo. They're not killing their Osas just yet. But yeah, this is Tsar just being... This is kind of exactly what I was kind of expect to happen. At this like forest fights, it's hard to win versus Mecha unless you're just at such a numbers advantage. And the Wilks should have been already retreated once they got panicked. So now it's probably too... They might just die now. There's a lot of smoke, which without infantry, Seekam is probably not really too keen on pushing through. Tsar even buying a CV here, very ballsy. Which might also die to the SRF if he's... this is gonna be tight. Oh. Not quite, not quite. The SRF might also side shot the... Okay, gonna die. Still though. Not too great for Tsar. On the other hand, it bought him like 3-4 minutes, which is better than nothing. But at what price, right? It's still nearly 20 minutes to go, and Seekam is not even 100 points behind. So it might be too early to just force a fight that you're gonna lose just to buy time. Is that an LRM? That is an LRM. I think he did get a Scott CV. I think that's a bit too early. What he maybe should have done is only used half a salvo, effectively just to stun whatever is in here and damage and potentially kill stuff whatever is in here, and also stop the Wigs from repairing, because the push that he's about to do is just not quite there yet. He's still quite a bit away here. The riflemen are also all out in the open without transports, so he's not gonna just be able to drive in there just yet. So probably, in my opinion, should have only used like half a salvo, started to drive back, and as soon as he was like just about to get into here, then use the other half of the salvo. But I mean, he has a fob, so there's also just a good point in saying, hey, use as much RD as you can and get as much use out of the fob as possible. Because very often players just, or not very often, but sometimes the players who start with fobs just sometimes don't use the fob at all, which is always just, if you have a fob, you might as well just try to get as much use of it out as possible. Slow down, please. I'm never gonna slow down. I'm not gonna go through a 40-minute match at ×1 speed, my dude. Yes, 240 points of artillery. Oh, the mortars are gonna run out of fuel. Definitely should buy a supply track, resupply them for fuel, and get them back to the fob as soon as possible. By the way, Sissy, back in here. I completely missed this. I hope Tsar doesn't forget about this either. Spikes getting some work done, but they're both... One of them is nearly out of ammo, the other one is completely out. Wilk fully resupplied, but there's 4 K1s in total. But all the infantry is just getting shot out without getting done anything. Now Wilks versus K1s. K1 getting down to 1 HP, this one to 5. Still 3 full HP K1s left though. Pave being bought. Okay, the Pave, that's where he needs to stay at max range. On the other hand, however, Pave only has 2 top armor. The Kerners will easily kill that if it hits properly. So be wary of that. Also only 3 back armor, and I'm actually surprised that the K1s were able to deal with it so effectively. I think that Chumat, I guess I should have slowed down. I think that Chumat probably also got a hit on it, but that's why you have to be very careful with the Paves. 14 front armor for 120 points, that's very, very squishy. Yeah, Chumat killed it, yeah. I think the K1s, didn't the K1 get a finishing blow, but yeah, Chumat definitely got at least 1 shot on it, and that's why the 14 front armor is very, very dangerous for the 120 points. It's a very good tank, certainly, but you have to be very careful with it. And LRM firing again, stopping the M1 to get resupplied. Okay, the supply trucks were able to live, which is important. There's another Pave, but you have to be careful with that. The Chumat is dead, so there's at least that. But at the very least, the K1s also got pushed back and this whole push slowed down, so there's that. I'm wondering though if CK might also think about pushing back here, because there's not a whole lot of stuff from SAR side, and as I just said that, this is gonna get bombed. And if there's gonna be a M113 spam with riflemen coming in here, there's just one anti-decoy squad and one spike missile that could stop. I guess there's also this spike. It's just SAR doesn't have to forget about this. Sissy moving here, Sissy also moving there. Could potentially do a lot of damage. Afterit basically a necessity from Seekam. There's only 10 minutes left and he has to either get a +1 here soon or countercap this. And I mean, that's a shit ton of stuff by Seekam. 5 K1s, a shit ton of M113s. Pave is nice and all, but not against 5 K1s. And there's the LRM. Syriac not killing one of the not even able to kill one of these. That's where 17 versus 16 front armor is so huge, because you can't survive one of the Syrian missiles, as you see. A Leopard 2A1 would not be able to do that. A Leopard 2A1 would die with only, what is it, 16 front armor? 16 front armor and 18 AP, I believe. By the way, worst tank for 10 more points, just saying. M1 Wix getting... But the M1 Wix shots a few shots on the rifleman beforehand, so the K1s are winning this. Pave down to 3 HP. If we can at least get this K1 kill... Oh no! Okay, the K1 missed as well, so there's that. A lot of riflemen and not a lot of infantry for SAR. There's an MI-17, but it's too far back. Also, I just noticed there's barely any AA for Seekam, only one Gepard. And I guess there's a Gepard and a Roland 3. I think a KT on this side could do a lot of work because AA is so far back. Poutine is in this tournament, yes. DC got killed by the AH-1J most likely here. Probably got noticed as soon as they captured the supply truck. Mortars, by the way, I'm not sure if they got ever... Okay, no, did they? Yeah, they must have gotten resupplied at some point, otherwise they wouldn't have moved down there. Alright, SAR effectively just trying to buy as much time as he can, probably. He can't keep up the infantry type grind for long, but he kind of has to. Seekam making good use of the splitting. Didn't really work here, but the Syria missed anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered either way. K1s are gonna be really annoying for the Yakari though. 17 front armor, the Yakari are only gonna do 1 damage to the K1. Granted, they can relatively easily finish off the one on 3 HP, but there's also one on 8 HP now. And the K1, 2 MGs. That's where the 2 MGs are very useful to have, especially if one of them is a heavy MG, the Browning. And the Afterhit can just move in unchallenged, and it's gonna be a +1 for Seekam in a bit. I didn't say good use, I say he's making use of the splitting, which in this case didn't help, because the missiles were able to lock on and miss enemies. But as you probably are most of you aware, I'm obviously not a fan of that. Now here come the base M1 Abrams. Too serious? Don't use them in tandem. Send in one first and then the other one. Otherwise they're gonna both shoot at the same target. Just watch. I guess he doesn't have line of sight anyways. Get him circling for nothing, and he does get out of life barely. Wow, very lucky that the Mirage barely hit with only 1 missile, I believe. Seekam is still behind, but not for too long. Mirage still circling, by the way. Hawk coming and trying to bomb, but this is a fucking Asteroid. It's not gonna die to a Hawk. Oh, and the M1 Abrams managed to kill SAR CV. That's gonna be GG. Sissy back here didn't manage to do anything. They did get 5 sniper shots, but just on a 5-point transport. KT back here, but it's too late. Yeah, that's a GG. It's unfortunate. I think it was just... I think it was mostly lost that moment where Sar pushed with his 3-stack of M1 Wilks and got completely destroyed by when he did that. I think that's where he lost, but Seekam also just played well. Although I don't agree with the way he opened the game, and he obviously got fucked there. Right, what do we have here modified? Seekam playing Landshut by the looks of it. Landshut Ansbeck. Sar playing Entente. Yeah, that's Entente. Alright. Both going for mid. Nothing too spectacular. No, never mind. Seekam is going for mid and Sar is going for Charlie. Okay, that should be interesting. That should be very interesting. Tiger, though, is gonna spot this. So what Seekam should hopefully will do is keep the Meenons and I guess the Jupiters for this town and send most of his stuff down this road to stop Sar before he can get a foothold in here. He will be able to get in here, probably unchallenged. Preemptive smoke. I prefer smoking here in this area personally, so that the fire support can't fuck over the infantry in the town. But not like it matters too much because there is no fire support really. Oh, that is interesting. Sar reacting to the mid push instead of pushing here. I guess he wants to see if he can like disable like the push here and then focus on Charlie, maybe. But usually, at least in my experience, when you push down here, you basically just ignore this push and either like get in here for free or force your opponent to move a lot of his stuff from mid over to this side. Dragon are getting absolutely destroyed by the... actually not getting destroyed by the Palogranzi because the Jäger are helping. He's one coming in. Probably gonna kill the M84 and yep. It's getting out scot-free as well. It's very good for Seekam. There's the automatic. Probably gonna deal with the header before it can spot the 2A5. Another 2A5 coming in. The Levy horse. Wait, what? Where out of... Okay. One of them had ammo issues apparently. Briefly. Still, I'm surprised that Sar didn't really try anything here. I guess I'm wondering if his line of thought was to drive down here and I guess like side shot. Did it just happen? Peace Rand briefly got line of sight on the Sama, just enough to get one missile out and kill it, and kill a... is that a BVP? Kill a BVP with the second missile. That is... you don't see that every day. In the end, I'd say it worked out more for Seekam than it did for Sar. Sar did kill the Tiger, which is good. But he didn't get the town, and lost his M84AN and his Sava in return. So... two peace runs. Yeah. Good smoke micro. Oh, that was a bit too ballsy. Seekam never evac the peace runs, so... Man. Peace run spam. Sar... Can he get... I don't think he will win against the Jäger. Oh, he did. That was lucky. Has a foothold in the town, but I think Seekam could probably just move up to Meenon and actually kill the proletariat squad. It's kind of funny. New Sava. I would have preferred an also AKM personally, just to have an AA that has more range versus planes. 3 peace rounds now. That's 1 VOD dead. 1 piece run was enough, and must have been a side shot because the other one didn't shoot any missiles, and the third one only 1 missile. Congress M just missing all day every day against on M113s. Not looking good for Zar. Again, I'm not sure about this push of his. Maybe he was expecting a push down here and tried to react to it, and that's why he decided to react to the push in mid, but I don't know. That's a weird one. And it's not looking good. He lost his VHOR, and letting a deck with peace Rhines get air superiority is gonna be a tough match on this map with so much open field. You really gotta be on point with your smoke micro, and he hasn't been too bad. But he did lose 1 VHOR, 1 M84 AN, so he obviously wasn't perfect, which is hard to do, very hard to do. I often fuck up with my smoke as well. He has 2 AKMs now. Turn them off, turn them on. If you're playing against Landio, the chance is very, very low that they have an ECR in their deck. And even if they do, you're generally not expecting them to buy that as soon as they spot that the enemy has radar AA. Even got spotted and gonna get shot at by the mortar, which is even more unfortunate because they have no armor. And assaulting this town from this angle is also, when you come from this, you at least can get into this forest here and then get the foothold here, establish your stuff here, and then assault the town from the road, and this at least a bit of cover here. You have these 3 tree lines, and that's about it. So that's not making life easier. Now he gets M84 ace here. Is he trying to get into here now? Peace Tiger with peace runs, that's gonna be annoying as well. He has the ECR in his deck, okay. Still, I probably would not have turned it off until you've seen it. It's a 150 point seed plane that generally I wouldn't expect the enemy to buy it as soon as he spots you have radar AA. On the other hand, he is quite ahead, so he can probably make the purchase without like having too many issues. There's his 3 stack of peace run coming in again. 1 M84 AA dead. That's too many. None of the peace runs got. That's L19. Odd. It's an F4. I think that's a KWS. Not too many play inside here. That's the KWS and an L19, I believe. That's better for. It's certainly a good trade for Seekam, I'd say. Oh, unlucky on the Tiger. L17 getting killed. Conquers M though, getting some shots onto the 2A5s. On max range though, the 2A5 with like smoke and peekaboo and all that jazz, 2A5 should have the upper hand. The extra AP is in this situation more useful than the extra RPM. The VHOR obviously has some nice off-road speed, which helps defensively. If there was smoke for Zar. Not looking good though. Speed is up until the next engagement. L17 again on the Tiger. Again, not getting the kill. I think, but it didn't even damage the Tiger. That's very unfortunate. Got 2 peace run kills. Got shot down in the process. It's not the worst trade though. Point wise, it was obviously good, but getting at least rid of 2 of the 4 peace runs, even if you lost your last proper ASF, I think it's okay. Certainly not ideal because you don't want to lose your ASFs, You know, when want to trade your ASF versus ground attack planes, but yeah, this is land use. Yeah, nothing really happening. Just again a stalemate. Moderna now as well. Down with it. Down with the Moderna. It's 5 super heavies in Star stack. Third at 17k. Third time going for the Tiger. Getting it out to 2 HP. Getting out alive this time at least, so there's that. There's the other 2 peace runs. Getting the M84A low. What was that it killed there? T55, right? Is with Yach, I think. Killing one of the peace runs. It's an okay trade. He only nearly lost one of the M84As. But it's 70 minutes left. He has to get a move on. Gallup killing one of the 2 A5s. Peace run coming in again. Could finish off the V-Horde. Went for the Moderna instead. Got it hit with both. Got killed. That's the last peace run. I don't know if CKM has the MLU in his deck. According to Sar, he has Seed, so the Seed, KWS, and 2 cards of Peace Rhines. He could have the MLU in his deck, which would obviously be another ATGM plane. Sar would know because he knows what the deck looks like. That would mean that smoke isn't as important anymore. It's still important to break line of sight against a 2A5, for example, if you want to just peek a boo. But you don't need to be on point as much anymore. There's obviously also the Tiger, but you have the Sava here. It looks like the Vihor actually just missed versus the 2A5, which is unfortunate. Still taking for CKM 250 points. A lot of supply being used by Sar. He's also supplied a lot of his ATGMs in the early game. He might run 2 cards of supplies, but I don't know. I am in my own town deck. Now trying to get into this forest. Might want to plummet first. Did he lose? He had a plummet. Did he lose it? Did I miss that? I think I missed that. Looks like I missed that. Wow, Rathman, you're bad. And 15M killed by the KWS. KWS died. It's the second KWS dead. Oh, the 2 automatics just demolished the Gallop. 2 2A4s here now as well. Third one coming in. At that much range though, they're not gonna do too much against the Vihor and the Moderna. He needs to close in. Laman died to mortars. Sar just sit in jet. Still, he needs to get a move on. 12 minutes left and Seekam is still ticking. Getting a lot of morale damage. Oh, this could be very dangerous with the 2A4s here. No, he's not engaging after all. F15M again. He did get both automatics. But it's not gonna win him the game. Meenon 2 just missing once again, just as Meenon 2 likes to do. Hey, you hit, good job, and you got killed. The fob is empty by all those mortars and the Tiger that it got resupplied several times. That's how you know. Jesus Christ, all these mortars. Mortar spam can be quite effective with these cheap 5 HE mortars. They're just supply hungry if you keep on using them. But finally buying a CV, but it's not even gonna start ticking for him. He's only gonna slow this bleed, and Seekam already 407 points. Unless Tsar gets a +4, he's not gonna win this. And I don't see him getting a +4 anytime soon. Other option would be to kill all CVs. That's gonna be nearly a side or your shot, but the first Meenon missed. That's gonna be a side miss. Wow, there's some nice micro here. A nice turning around by Tsar. It's not even gonna bother trying to smoke the 2A5 with only 8 Cocons up front. He can't even kill the 2A5 unless he gets a crit. But yeah, this is gonna be GG. Some good plays and good micro by Tsar in the end here, but it's just too little too late, and he lost way too many units and momentum at the start of the game. Yeah, I'm still surprised. The strategy and opener by him I still find kind of perplexing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here already. Like I said, I wouldn't stream too long. I got home later than expected today. Let me see. I might stream possibly on Friday again. I don't know yet. In any case, watch out for the upload tomorrow, which is gonna be a co-cast of Game 3 of Meenon versus Nanda, which is definitely very much worth watching. On Thursday, I have should be a Baltic Front revisited, unless another video comes up that I definitely want to get out earlier. So keep an eye out for that, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you will tune in next time, and yeah, thanks for watching.